There is a version of you who has already lived everything you're still going to live. They know every mistake you'll make, every opportunity you'll let slip away, every moment you'll choose fear instead of courage. And if they could send you a message, this would be it. If you're seeking to understand the temporal nature of consciousness, subscribe to Soul Messages. What comes next may reshape how you perceive time. Time is passing. This statement, seemingly simple, hides one of the greatest paradoxes of human existence. We intellectually recognize the passage of time, yet we live as if we were immortal. The Stoic philosophers called this existential amnesia, the human inability to keep the awareness of our own finitude present. But here's something Socrates already understood 2,500 years ago. It's not the passage of time that matters. It's the quality of awareness you bring to each passing moment. Every day that goes by isn't just one day less. It's an irreversible reduction in your field of possibilities within this specific lifetime. You're not just aging, you're closing doors, ending chapters, turning potential into reality, or letting it dissolve into the void of missed opportunities. This shouldn't scare you. It should wake you up. Because here's the liberating paradox. Your choices today don't just shape your tomorrow, they literally create who you will become. Think about who you were 10 years ago. That person, with their values, fears, and absolute certainties, no longer exists. They've been gradually replaced by who you are now. And who you are now? Just a temporary stop between a past that has died and a future that hasn't yet been born. In Buddhism, there's a term for this, anatman, the non-permanence of the self. You are not a fixed entity moving through time. You are a process in constant transformation. Now here's the exercise that can change everything. Imagine your future self, 10, 20 years ahead, with all the wisdom accumulated, all the experiences lived, all the regrets cataloged, coming back to this exact moment. What would they tell you? Don't romanticize it. Don't filter it. Just listen. Most likely, your future self would talk about your body, not from vanity, but from existential responsibility. The ancient Greeks understood the body as soma, not a prison of the soul, but the sacred vehicle through which consciousness experiences the material world. Your future self would remind you, every act of neglect today is a limitation tomorrow. Every checkup you postpone is a risk accumulating against your own vitality. But not out of fear, out of respect for the opportunity to be alive. And then something even deeper. Take care of your spirit, that essence Plato called psyche, and that Eastern traditions recognize as immortal consciousness, not as a religious obligation, as an existential imperative. Because here's the truth that Soren Kierkegaard expressed perfectly. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Your future self knows that genuine relationships you build today are the only treasures that transcend time. Everything else? Dust returning to dust. If you're noticing a gap between who you are and who you could become, share this reflection. Collective awakening begins with individual awareness. Read more, expand your mind, seek new experiences. This isn't cheap self-help, it's applied philosophy. As Heraclitus said, no man ever steps in the same river twice. Why? Because the river has changed, and so have you. The question is, are you changing through conscious choice or unconscious drift? Your future self is begging you, don't live in excessive fear. Fear isn't prudence, it's existential paralysis.
The Stoics taught amor fati, love of fate. Not passive resignation, but active acceptance that life demands courage to be fully lived. Do you know the most common regret of people at the end of life? It's not, I should have worked less, though that's part of it. It's, I wish I had the courage to live the life I wanted, not the life others expected of me. Think about the philosophical tragedy of that. Living an entire life as a character in a script written by someone else. The future self exercise reveals something profound. Time is not the enemy. It's the space in which consciousness unfolds. But how you fill that space with presence or absence, courage or fear, love or resentment determines not only your future, but the very quality of your existence. Jean-Paul Sartre was right. Man is condemned to be free. You didn't choose to be here, but you do choose what to do with this existence. So don't postpone forgiveness, not because forgiving is noble, but because holding on to resentment poisons your own being. Don't postpone the hug, because every moment of genuine connection is an antidote to existential isolation. Don't postpone necessary change, because inertia isn't peace, it's a slow form of living death. Don't postpone taking care of your health, because neglect isn't freedom, it's disrespect toward the opportunity to exist. Don't postpone nourishing your spirit, because a life without inner cultivation is like an abandoned garden. It inevitably withers. Your future self is watching you right now, not in a superficial mystical sense, but in a deep philosophical one. Every present choice is literally creating that future observer. You are not being judged, you are being formed. Time isn't linear, it's creative. Every moment is a branching point of possibilities. And you are both the architect and the architecture of your own existence. The Greeks had two words for time: chronos, chronological time, and kairos, the right moment, the opportune instant. You don't control chronos, it moves regardless of you. But kairos, that's yours. It's the quality you bring to each moment. Using time wisely doesn't mean managing it efficiently. It means inhabiting each moment with full presence, awakened awareness, and active love. If this reflection has shifted something in your perception of time, do 3 things. Subscribe to Soul Messages, because applied philosophy requires conscious repetition. Share this with someone trapped in the illusion of practical immortality, and in the comments, what message would your future self send you right now? Be brutally honest. That honesty is the first step toward transformation. The future isn't a place you're going to, it's a possibility you create. And the only tool you have? This moment. Now. This eternal, irreversible instant.